With my main man, NBA champion Festus Ezeli, the great KB, Gareth Burke. I am Bonte Hill, and the statement made. Sloppy first half as he fell, as we would expect in a season opener, but then the Warriors turned it up after halftime.
I mean, Bonte, not everybody has the team chemistry that we have here to just come off like we're in mid-season form, okay? So the Warriors and the Lakers both showed like it was the first game. A lot of turnovers, both of them combined for 20 turnovers by halfway through the second quarter. That's a lot. But the Warriors got it going in the third quarter. Shout out to my man JK. We didn't even get to see Eric Congo tonight. We just saw him from the three-point line. We saw him moving without the basketball, running in transition. He got them going early. Jimmy Butler really kept them afloat with his free throw shooting, but then Buddy Hield came alive. And I think really what won the Warriors the game was the bench. I thought the bench players, the role players came in the game and made a big impact.
Well, Eric Congo flies long distance, right?
I mean,
the three-point shooting.
Are we extending the Eric Congo to the three-point line?
Wow, look at that.
No, I mean, you saw it felt like the Warriors were going to be a team of first half, second half. They had a 1-point lead heading into halftime. Then they transformed that with that third quarter run, 16-4. And who was it? It was JK and Jimmy Butler. Lots of questions about whether those guys could play together this season, thinking about the way that JK was hurt, came back from the ankle injury last season, and Jimmy Butler's playing time was the one who sort of blocked his own. So what are we going to see from the two of them as a duo this season? Don't want to overreact to one game, but what we saw was promising.
No doubt about that. Let's pick up that third quarter tape, KB, because you talked about it. The Lakers go on a second quarter run, I should say, and cut the Warriors lead in the first half to 55-54. Then they came out like gangbusters. You see, JK, that was one of 3 threes he made in that third quarter.
I love this play right here.
Look at that back cut.
Yo,
right
that
there.
give and go, I told you earlier, set a screen for Steph, you will be wide open.
You see that third quarter run, 16-4. Steph doing his thing. He finds Jimmy Buckets, who played a really solid floor game tonight, KB.
Well, did you see how comfortable Jonathan Kuminga looked as well tonight? That's what stood out to me. Arriving at these kind of numbers, getting the rebounds and scoring that he did, playing in the flow of the offense, doing all of this. Well, he had the task of guarding Luka Doncic. This is precisely what you want to see from Jonathan Kuminga after a funny offseason, like maybe some tension there. But is he ready to play for this team? Can he be happy in this environment? That's one of the big questions. Yes, if this is what it looks like. The flow of the offense, everybody eats, and including Kuminga, getting the start here. One of the questions would be, is it a spot start? I don't know. Might it be a long-term thing?
Think about it, Fezzi. He goes 5 of 5 in that third quarter, 3 for 3 in the third from the three-point line with 13 points, and he's guarding Luka Doncic 94 feet. So he's exerting energy defensively while still letting the game come to him offensively.
Well, that shows you that Jonathan Kuminga is in great shape. He's coming to the floor. He's impacting both ends of the court. Defensively, he's able to put pressure on Luka Doncic, who is a load. He's a guy, he's 6'9". He plays physical. He's getting you down deep into the paint. So it takes a lot of energy to guard Luka. The fact that he's also running on the other side of the floor, getting to the paint. I mean, JK looked really strong tonight, but what I loved the most was his patience. On the offensive end, he was making plays. I love the play when he dished to Al Horford. He drove all the way to the front of the rim, understanding that the defense is going to pay attention to him now. And then right when he got to the middle, right when he got to the front of the rim, he gave it to Al Horford for a layup. Things like that, plays like that are the reason why JK is going to be on the floor more. But like I said before the game, when you're missing guys from the lineup, you get other guys to play more minutes in different positions. You got to see a huge dose of JK tonight. And for him, I think he earned a lot more minutes moving down the line in Steve Kerr's book.
This kind of play made it easy for Steve Kerr to keep him on the floor. It tells me that Jonathan Kuminga is listening. It tells me that he's bought in for this season. Are you going to defend? Not only defend, but one of the toughest guys in the league. Are you going to defend? Are you going to exert that effort? And then are you going to play within the flow of the offense? Are you going to get the rebounds we're asking for? Are you going to make smart passes? He did all of those things looking very comfortable. Even a few of those flashy JK smiles tonight.
17, 9-6 in nearly 33 minutes for Jonathan Kuminga. But the Lakers did make a push in the fourth quarter with a 9-0 run. And we're all thinking, uh-oh, here we go again down in L.A. And with Luka Doncic leading the charge here, Lakers down 15. They had no life. They were clunky offensively, but a nice pass dish to Rui Hachimura for the three-point shot. We know he can hit that. Luka Doncic with 43 points.
12 and 9,
and 9 assists. Austin Reeves, nice pass to Aiden, who I thought the Warriors did a really good job on that big fella making his debut for the Lakers.
Well, yes, the Warriors at that center position, they made him look flustered. Really made it really tough in the middle of the paint. Couple charges in there. Frustrated the big guy, DeAndre Ayton, who was supposed to be an X factor for them, really made him a non-factor tonight.
So the Lakers cut the Warriors' lead to 6 from 15 to 6. Then they have a chance to cut it to 5 right there. Great block shot by Stephen Curry. Are we thinking first team
Okay, big fella.
Hey,
I thought you said
What did he
defense
do?
doesn't matter.
That could be a lot of fun.
Defense matters.
That's
That
our
matters.
best offensive player playing defense. What you talking about, Bonte?
And then you have Jimmy Buckets, very patient. He got to the free throw line 16 times, made all 16 of his free throws, which I believe is a Warriors franchise record for the most free
Deep
throws
shot.
made in the first game of the season. And then you go night-night, KB.
Yeah. 10-point lead right there. So each quarter had its own flavor, right? First in the first quarter, it was Jimmy. Then it was Steph. Then it was JK. Then we could do Jimmy. I almost said Jimmy Buckets. How about Buddy Buckets?
Buddy Buckets, yes.
Yeah, that's the way that the things were flowing tonight. That's what you want to see. That's why Steve Kerr could go deep tonight. I think he played 11 guys in this game. Will Richard, one of the guys that he played as well, getting fourth quarter minutes as a rookie, having a little bit of time on Luka too. Okay, you were talking pregame about how strength and numbers could be a factor here. Another deep team for the Warriors. We got a little glimpse of that.
Well, everybody that came into the game made an impact. We talked about Will Richards, but I mean, Paz started the game. But I mean, when you try to figure out how you close a game, I think Steve Kerr's his message and his task right now is trying to figure out what lineups am I going to use in different instances. You saw GP2 play with JK and Al Horford. You saw Jimmy Butler play with JK. So those are the lineups and the combinations he's trying to figure out. And JK, great start to the season. Great showing defensively, great showing making plays. I love the fact that he was playing with Steph and Draymond. You saw great playmaking on both ends. That's what you want to build on. As the team continues to get better, you're going to see better playmaking, you're going to see better chemistry. This is just game one.
Yeah, we'll get to Buddy Buckets in a moment here, but Jimmy Butler set the tone, getting to the free throw line. You talk about controlling the game, Fezzy fell. 31 points for Jimmy Butler, 60-16 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and only 1 turnover.
I think this is a personal matchup, Bonte, because I think about 50% of the time, Gabe Vincent, Jimmy Butler's former teammate, was guarding him, and there was a personal vendetta of Jimmy Butler going against his former teammate. Look at this right here. You rarely see Jimmy Butler talk, but here he is running back. Hey, it's too small on me. These moments right here is such a luxury for the Warriors to have a guy that you can throw the ball into. You guys talked pregame about going 5 out. Jimmy Butler is a guy that wants to do all his work down low, and it's a luxury to have a guy that can get a bucket for you whenever you need it.
And KB, no signs of the ankle injury. Sorry to cut you off, but he had the MRI last week on the ankle. Well, it looked fine to me tonight.
Yeah, it did. And it's so funny that you can have 2 superstars on the floor, Jimmy and Steph. So you got Batman and Robin. Each will give you 2 different flavors. If you want Jimmy Butler to slow down the game, maybe eat most of the clock, you know, kind of slow things down, he can do that. He can stay in control. If you want Steph to start flying around, shooting threes, getting open, do whatever, getting those amazing shots, he can speed up the game. So the entire team is going to have to figure out how to play with these 2 guys, but that has to be one of the most fun tasks in the NBA. How do you play with Steph? How do you play with Jimmy? What's the flavor of the game going to be tonight? Because on either night, either of those guys could go off, or in any quarter, either of those guys could go off.
Finding that balance, ISO ball movement, they did a little bit of everything. Speaking of the ball movement, Stephen Curry, he's deadly from all over the place. But remember, the Warriors went +6 with Stephen Curry checked out of the game in the third quarter with 3:59 left. He checked back in the fourth quarter with about 8:22 left, and the Warriors had increased their lead. I love the 3 steals, Fezzy. Yes, I'm talking some defense.